beautiful, and that was a terrific job of just getting to his spot and elevating.
Joe Ingles, swing. O'Neal fires. Can't hit the three.
He says he's got to be aggressive all night long.
Yeah, no doubt about that, Rebecca. Royce O'Neal, three to get Utah into the scoring column. PG-13 with a bomb for three.
This is do or die right now. You have to bring much more effort if you're the Jazz.
Mitchell to the cutter. Gobert is fouled.
That approach, that mindset, you feed off of that, and you see here early on, they've come out with great energy and activity, and they're aggressive and confident.
A lot of people will get caught up in the big picture of this. Right now, the Clippers' focus is one game tonight.
And it should be for both teams, and that's a great point. Ultimately, because of how chaotic this postseason has been, as Donovan back rims that triple, you can only focus on what you can control. You can only focus on what you can control.
Paul George, taken away. O'Neal steps in for the steal. O'Neal, kick. Bogdanovich, splash. Foul called on Bojan Bogdanovich. Couple of free throws here for Paul George. And here are Kenny and Charles with tonight's FanDuel over-under.
Remember how they wanted to run that, what they call fire, and try to get the ball out of Donovan's hands. Much harder to do when they're consistently knocking down jumpers.
Man couldn't handle the low pass. The layup goes, and a foul for O'Neal.
Ty Lue speaking with the officials there.
Our officiating crew, John Goebel, Josh Timmon, Curtis Blair. O'Neal misses on the free throw. The Jazz lead by 2. Donovan Mitchell is a scoring machine. 18-15 Jazz. Morris for the tie. Yes, sir. Clippers spread here. George, the handles. The fadeaway. Oh, yeah. We're going to hit the 2-minute mark of this opening quarter. They're looking for him. He's human. Bogdanovich comes up short. George crosses, forces his way in for 2.
Next level defender that the Clippers don't have. Should be more opportunities to attack.
Splitting defenders. PG-13 with a tough bucket, and he's got 10. The Clippers are 13 of 20. The Jazz are 12 of 17. Ingles knocked away. Favors couldn't catch it. 8-0 run for the Jazz. They lead at 51-44. George trying to take it at Gobert. Fade away. Oh, that is silky smooth from PG-13. And they've actually turned it over 8 times. Out of the timeout, Paul George. Splash. Turnovers piling up for Utah. George sizing up O'Neal. The drive inside for 2 and a foul. The strength of Paul George and a chance at a 3-point play. Paul George averaging 31 points in the 2 games at home. Clippers try to trap him in the corner. Beverly, aggressive D. George couldn't intercept and then gets called for the foul. Mitchell, bounce for Gobert. Those long strides, he missed it on a banker. And down goes Jackson on the play. He's up and okay.
And that's a situation where if you're Mitchell, I should say Gobert, stop and make a playmaker there. Not a good decision.
Beverly, cookies there on Clarkson. George, tip in, doesn't go. Rebound. George clears out space for 2.
Playmaker there. Not a good decision.
Beverly, cookies there on Clarkson. George, tip in, doesn't go. Rebound. George clears out space for 2.
Playmaker there. Not a good decision.
Beverly, cookies there on Clarkson. George, tip in, doesn't go. Rebound. George clears out space for 2.
Playmaker there. Not a good decision.
Beverly, cookies there on Clarkson. George, tip in, doesn't go. Rebound. George clears out space for 2.
Don't try to be a playmaker there. Not a good decision.
Beverly, cookies there on Clarkson. George, Tip in, doesn't go. Rebound. George clears out space for two. Nobody shot more or made more this season. George, fade, money.
And that's the importance of leverage, folks.
George at the free throw line. The numbers are strong for Paul George. 24 points, 8 rebounds in 19 minutes. And the Clippers can take the lead. George looking for an opening. Morris, ready, fire, got it, a three. No rebounders for Los Angeles underneath.
You know, I get a sense that it's getting close to Donovan Mitchell time, where he's going to have to start imposing his will, I should say, on this game offensively.
After the Mitchell miss, George sees an opening, finishes with the offhand. PG-13 with a sweet move to the rack. Is his second, first team foul. Bogdanovich started 6 of 6. Out of the timeout, O'Neal couldn't finish it, and the rebound tracked down by George.
Yeah, great pass there by Mitchell, but the defense was better there on the contest.
George operating on the outside with O'Neal watching him. Swing it. Morris fires, connects. Marcus Morris is piping hot from downtown. Paul George drains the free throw. The Clippers lead by 7. They have taken 10 two-pointers. 10. Paul George off the rim. George once again, Bogdanovich. Step back three, splash for Paul George. He is feeling it tonight.
Can start to get a few more of those kinds of possessions.
Ball got knocked out of there. Man was trying to keep it alive. Turnover, LA. Clarkson ready. Can't hit it. George against Gobert. Shot clock down to 5. George's jumper short. Long rebound. George has got it. George against Gobert. Shot clock down to 5. George's jumper short. Long rebound. George has got it. Shot clock down to 5. George's jumper short. Long rebound. George has got it. Tried to Euro inside and he loses the ball. Bodies flying. Man and Bogdanovich go down.
I mean, play at a high level, obviously. Maybe not to that extent, but man, I am anxious to see that one.
It was epic. Beverly lines up an open look. Got a three. Patrick Beverly from deep. 86-82. We approach 2 minutes to go in the third. Beverly. The drive. The teardrop. Rims in for Patrick Beverly, who is providing a boost. Ingles against Kennard. Gobert lost it. Kick. O'Neal, tough angle, in and out. It was halfway down. George slows it down with 1:13 to play. George makes his move, and he's fouled. O'Neal,
Offensive.
the other one. George slows it down with 1:13 to play. George makes his move, and he's fouled. O'Neal,
Offensive.
the other one. Paul George has been sensational. George, jump shot doesn't go, rebounded by Niang.
The elevated activity defensively by the Jazz.
Shot clock at 3. George can't hit the 3.
You're one body light in terms of rotation there.
Mitchell stripped to the ball. Clippers go down to get it with Jackson, and here they come up by 7.
And partner, we're getting to that point where this game's going to come down to will.
Ingles steps in, drives in, trailer. Oh, Gobert on a rock attack.
And I got to tell you, it is nothing like being in this kind of an environment with this electricity.
Donovan Mitchell misses on a rainbow 3, and it's rebounded by George. 3-point shooting, just 1 in the 4th for Utah. Can they add to it? No, Joe Ingles misses from the corner. 4th foul on O'Neal, first free throw of the 4th quarter for Los Angeles. George bangs in a pair. 12 points for Man, 110 to 103. Bogdanovich fakes on a three and a foul called on George. Clippers up by 4 with possession. Isolation for George. George is fouled and he's got it.
Wow.
Royce O'Neal put the hand out there. Tack on another. George tries to drive. O'Neal there defensively. Cross. Fires off the rim. And it's rebounded by Gobert.
Free throws just as good as well.
Ingles, trigger man, gets it in. Mitchell, and it knocked away by George out of bounds. Ingles for O'Neal. Corner. In and out. Rebounded by Mann, and the Jazz have to foul.
And for him to come out and perform the way he did with all the doubt that has been bestowed upon him the last year or so, really impressive.
He has delivered tonight.
Well, he's been performing the last 3 games.